how did I get started with the Toyota Tacoma? My Tacoma story. Well, good morning, everybody. How are you today? Pretty good here. So I thought I'd get on and share my Tacoma story with you guys. How did I get started with the Toyota Tacoma, right? I mean, I've had, I think, 6 of them, and there was a beginning. I wasn't born with the Toyota Tacoma under my carriage. I actually started with them many years ago, and to be honest, it was kind of by accident. It wasn't my first choice. I've mentioned in other videos that I've had, several trucks over the years, several mid-sized trucks, a few full-size trucks. And I think the first truck I ever had was actually I think it was a Chevy S10. I think I've had a couple of S10s and I think one Ford Ranger before I ever made my way to the Toyota Tacoma. And the reason I kept changing out the mid-sized trucks back then is frankly because, and I guess this has been kind of a thing for me forever, but was kind of because they just didn't have power. I was always disappointed that I couldn't get up and go. Way back in the day when I was a little bit shorter in the tooth, you want to be able to compete with everybody else out there, right? Kind of hard to do that, and I'm talking about speed. Your buddies get next to you at a light, you happen upon somebody who wants to hit it, and I'm in my Chevy S10 or my Ford Ranger, and I know they're trucks, right? But so what? I'm young, the testosterone is flowing, the adrenaline starts to kick in, and you want to hit it, right? And I did, and I watched them go on down the road as my truck was, sputtering to get up to speed, because frankly, they weren't, and they still aren't, speed demons. And I've kind of changed my philosophy there a little bit. I'm not looking to race off the line every time anybody pulls up next to me, But anyway, it was kind of by accident that I went with the Toyota Tacoma. I decided that I wanted a full-size truck, right? So I didn't want a Ford and I didn't want a Chevy. I wanted to try out the Tundra. I'd heard about the Tundra. It was pretty new back then. And I went to the dealership and I liked it. I liked the power it had. I mean, it was a lot more powerful than what I'd been driving, that's for sure. So I found one that I liked. Of course, the salesman is right there with me, trying to push me into buying it right now. What'll it take? Are you paying cash? Are you going to finance? We have some great deals right now. Are you in college? Blah, 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 all kinds of things. But I told the sales guy, I said, I'm concerned that it's not going to fit in my garage. And back then, and kind of still today, if it didn't fit in my garage, I wasn't going to buy it. So I told him, I said, we got to take this to my house. Do you mind? Blah, blah, blah. And, well, of course not. They want you to spend as much time with them as possible. That's the old dealership ploy, right? The longer you're at the dealership, the more likely you are to actually spend some money and buy something. So we journey out to my house. It was probably about a 20-25 minute drive. So I did get to spend a little bit more seat time in the Tundra, and I'm loving it more as we're going, right? Awesome truck, loved it, big, powerful, even had a little bit of a gurgle to it, So I get home, put the garage door up. My wife is there looking at me like I'm insane. I pull in the garage, and man, I'm looking in the rear, and I'm pulling forward. I'm getting closer and closer to that wall in front of me, right? And it's gonna fit. I want it. I know it's gonna fit. I can make it fit. I get right up to the wall. I'm probably half an inch, maybe half an inch from the wall, right? Now, there's no way, of course, I could walk around in front of it, but that's okay. There's gonna be plenty of room behind it. Well, I was a bit surprised. I thought all garages could handle any, consumer vehicle, truck, car that you brought home, whatever it was. But I got a huge surprise. It would not fit. it actually hung out of my garage about 1.5 feet. And this was just a normal sized truck. It wasn't a long bed or anything like that. Although it probably was the longer bed, because I think, I'm not sure if it was a crew cab or not. It could have been just a single cab. I don't recall. Matter of fact, I do think it was a crew cab. But anyway, it didn't fit. It hung out 1 foot out of the garage, and I'm like, oh no. And like I said, back then, with winter and cold temperatures and stuff, you know, I wasn't going to have a vehicle where every morning when I was leaving for work at 7 a.m., I was going to freeze to death and have to scrape my truck and all that. You know, just not going to do that. So that killed it for me. But I still wanted a truck, right? So it was at that moment that I realized I had to have a mid-sized truck. Now I'm at Toyota, and I do love, or did love, and still do, the looks of the Toyota Tacoma. So they've got some really nice Tacomas sitting there, and I thought, all right, let's look at a Tacoma. So I got in the Tacoma, and you know, when you first drive a vehicle, this is to be the first time I'd ever driven one, they all feel good, right? I mean, you're not in normal life situation where maybe you're sitting at that light and you want to hit it. It felt quick, it felt good. So I jumped in. We drove it back to the house once again because I still wanted to make sure that it would fit, right? And it did, no problem, no big deal. It was tight. I mean, it wasn't a big garage. I could kind of shimmy between the back of the truck and the garage door with the door down. No way I'd be able to do that if I had my beaver tail step on there. I'd have been busting my shin probably every time I went to do it because I was that close. But it fit. So that is when I bought my first Toyota Tacoma. I don't remember what year it was, and I'll be honest with you guys, there was a mod. There was only really one mod I think I did back then. Wasn't really into modding and stuff. I think I was probably too cautious, insecure about changing out a brand new truck, thinking that it would somehow screw up my warranty, or, you know, maybe I would screw up the mod and then be unhappy with that. I don't know if you guys could see, but we just drove through. We didn't hit any, but a group of buzzards outside eating something in the road. I don't know. But my first mod, and the only mod I think that I did on that truck, was a bull bar, a front bull bar, and it was bright, shiny chrome. Now, in all fairness, there was a lot of chrome on the truck, and the reason I went with chrome as opposed to black was because it matched the look of the truck, I guess. With all the other chrome and stuff that was on it, I thought it matched better than if I would have put black on. Now, fast forward to today, of course, and I would have just changed all the other stuff to black and put the black bull bar on. But full disclosure, I did put a chrome bull bar on it. So anyway, that's my story. You know, that's how I came about buying my first Toyota Tacoma. It really was by accident. Not accident, I mean, I did consciously buy it, but it's not what I set out to buy. Leave a comment, let me know, why did you buy your first Toyota Tacoma? I mean, did you just fall in love with it when you saw other ones on the road? Or what's your story? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, if you're interested, check out my other channel. It is RobMotive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.